Hi, good morning, and welcome to the Business and AAT virtual open event for Wiltshire College this rainy November morning. I'd just like to talk to you. My name is Pippa Thomas. I'm Deputy Head of the Business and IT and Entrepreneurship and AAT, which also falls into the same category. And I want to talk to you today about what we offer at Chippenham College in those particular areas. So, as I said, my name is Pippa Thomas. I'm Deputy Head of the Department for Business, IT and Entrepreneurship. So that covers all the business courses that we do at Chippenham, all the IT courses we do at Chippenham, and all the accountancy courses and management courses that we do at Chippenham. Thank you very much for joining me today for our virtual open event. If you've got any questions, please put them in the chat and I'll answer them at the end of the session. Today, I'm going to be looking at different course options available to ensure that you have all the information you need to make the decision for moving on from school. The difficulty, obviously, this year is that you can't come in and see the college, and so it's much more difficult to make an informed decision. So I kind of like to try and get through most of the questions that you might most likely to have, and then give you the chance to answer questions as we go along. So first of all, I'd like you to meet the teams. On the accountancy teams, we've got two people who work in the accountancy teams. The difference between college and school is that all of us have actually worked in industry. So Rachel Mullins is one of the AAT teachers. She works in the AAT team and has come from industry. So she started at the college about 10 years ago doing her own AAT course. Then she went off into industry and now she's come back to teach. Howard Gray also has spent many years in tax and accountancy, and he teaches the elements of, mainly the elements of tax within the AAT courses. He's got a wealth of experience and he's based at Chippenham. Whereas Rachel's based at Trowbridge, but comes across, or at the moment, because of COVID restrictions, she's teaching online. For business, the business team, this is at Chippenham and Trowbridge. There's 4 different teachers who you're most likely to get. Neil Burns, who's come from a customer service background, so he's worked in retail customer service for several years, working overseas as well. Bruce Martin, who used to have his own businesses and has got a lot of business entrepreneurship experience. Billy McEwen, who teaches marketing and has got her own business. She does beauty at the moment, has her own beauty business, so she only works with us part-time. And then me, and I'm a little bit dark in that picture. I used to work overseas in human resources and law, so that's my background. So I'm going to look through each of the courses by subject area. I've got to include the IT teachers in this, but I'll try and include those later. I will talk about them. So the accountancy courses that we offer at Chippenham are different. We'll talk about accountancy, business and IT. Just accountancy and business. Sorry, Andrew is going to do an IT presentation later. So for AAT, we've got different choices. So if you've come straight from school and your A-level, your GCSE results are fairly good, you could go straight onto the AAT level 2, level 3 fast track. So you'd start in September and you do level 2. I'll talk about this a little bit more in detail. Then you'd move on to level 3 after Christmas. This is a 1-year course. We also offer part-time courses in AAT, which are level 2, 3 and 4, and I'll tell you a bit more about those later on. So those are the accountancy courses we offer. Business at Chippenham, we offer a foundation diploma, which could then move on to an extended diploma in business. So that's the equivalent to A-levels. But instead of just doing A-level business, where you just do 3 subjects like marketing, business and other bits, this one does a lot of accountancy, a lot of human resources, law, marketing. So it tells you lots about different areas of the business world. So it gives you more of an idea of potentially where you might want to work. So to get onto the courses, what you need to realise first is that it doesn't matter if you're 16. We have at college, we have lots of people who might have done a year of A-levels and not enjoyed it, might have come straight from GCSE, might have done 2 years of A-levels and then want to top up. We might have got people who've left school, done some work and then come to college. So whichever class you decide to do, you won't just be 16-year-olds in it. There might be 17, 18-year-olds and sometimes even older. So don't worry about being too old or too young. There's always a big choice of, a big variety of age groups. So first of all, what you need to think is whether or not you want to do part-time or full-time. And according to whether you want to do part-time or full-time study, you will need different entry requirements. So if you want to study full-time and you're looking at a level 3 course, that's equivalent to A-levels. So you would need some good GCSEs, including maths and English at grade 4 and above. For AAT, they especially want you to have very good results because it's quite a competitive, hard course. If you get 4 GCSEs, but you don't quite get your maths, but you get 4 other GCSEs, you could potentially do your maths again at the college. So don't give up hope. Same with English. If you don't get your English, but you do get 4 other GCSEs, then you can come and do business or AAT potentially, depending on your other grades, and then you can move up. You could redo your maths or English at college. Progression, successful completion of a level. So if you get your level 2 AAT, you can move on to level 3. Sometimes people do some year of business or 2 years of business and then move on to AAT. So there's lots of flexibility for you. Oops, hang on. Sorry, this is the first time I've done a presentation like this, so bear with me. Right. So for the BTEC level 3, like I said, you'll need 4 GCSEs, grade 9 to 4 or A star to C, including English and maths. For AAT, as I said, level 2, level 3, which is a full-time course, you'd again need 4 GCSEs, including English and maths or the equivalent. I'm going to give you a bit more detailed information, and I'm sorry if you're just here for business or just here for AAT, because I'm doing both of these. So accountancy, there's a course information sheet on the website, so you need to look up Chippenham AAT level 2, level 3 accountancy. And it's a really good place to start if you want to follow a career in accountancy or finance. You're given all the different areas of accountancy, so it lets you decide which bits you're better at. So read a bit about that. But the course is divided into 2 parts, as I said. So in the first term, you do level 2, and it's very quick, so you'll end up doing exams within the first 6 weeks, and then more exams, 8 weeks, more exams. So there's a lot of exams. If you don't pass the exams the first time, you get a chance to retake them. But for level 2, you need to have got that by Christmas. And then you'd move on to level 3. So you're learning things like bookkeeping, costing, computerized accounts like Sage. You look at tax, VAT, spreadsheets, all the things you'd need to get a career in accountancy at the first level. As part of the AAT course, you also join, you sign up to be a member of the AAT, which I think it costs about £80, which gives you books, but it also gives you membership, so it makes it much easier to get a job because you're a member of the AAT professional organisation. So at AAT, in the first, from September to December, as I said, you'll look at things like bookkeeping, double entry bookkeeping, elements of costing, using software like Sage. So that's what all the most of the big companies use to track their accounts. And then looking at how you work, what you should do, what you shouldn't do as an AAT professional. Then after Christmas, if you passed all your exams in level 2, you go on to level 3, which again is advanced bookkeeping, management accounts, but slightly different area, tax, ethics, and spreadsheets. Okay, so from there, you're on a really good course, career path to do to move on to an accountancy career. Now, this is a 1-year course. I'll just look at the next slide in case I repeat myself. So this is a 1-year course, which is full-time. So you do so you would do the 2 qualifications, but you do them full-time for a year. Now, full-time at the college means 3 days a week. It's 3 full days a week, because the other 2 days we'd expect you to have some sort of work experience, maybe in an accounts office. And at Chippenham, we're very lucky because we work with an accountancy firm called Manda Duffield, which is in Chippenham, and they quite often take on apprentices during full work experience. And then if you're good and you show that you're good, they'll then hopefully there's a chance that you could then be employed with them after you finish your year at accountancy. The alternative to the full-time is the part-time. And this one, like I was saying before, is slightly different because you don't necessarily need any formal entry requirements. So a lot of older people, people who may be returning from, to work after having had kids, or maybe wanting to change career, might do this. Sorry, I've got Trowbridge and Salisbury's in here, but at Chippenham, it's a Friday morning and it starts in January. Okay, so it's pretty intensive because instead of doing it full time from September to December, like on the full time course, you're doing it from January to June, 1 day a week. And again, you're covering the same units as you would, but it just gives people an opportunity who are possibly working or got other commitments to be able to do the course part time. Okay. You could alternatively, you might just want to do bookkeeping as an evening class or as part-time, sorry. This one, again, doesn't need formal requirements, but we will recommend that you have GCSE grade C in English and maths. This, again, is Friday morning, and it's just bookkeeping rather than the other things mentioned before. So that would just give you bookkeeping. Now, being a bookkeeper is really useful because there's all companies, all people, anybody who's got a business, even if it's a tiny, small business, has to do their accounts. They have to know, what their outgoings are, how to claim tax back, etc. And they all therefore need a bookkeeper. So if you're thinking of having a part-time job or, always having a useful skill or setting up your own business, a bookkeeping course is a really good course to do. So this Friday morning session would be a really useful one. You could also do a part-time course. So far with AAT, we've talked about full-time, which is 3 days a week. We've talked about part-time, which is Friday mornings, level 2. Or you could do part-time level 2 bookkeeping, or you could do part-time level 3, which is Tuesday all day. Okay, you need to have already achieved your level 2, so you might have to do that from January to June and then start the level 3 in September. So potentially from today you could sign up for the January part-time level 2 accountancy course and then move on to level 3 accountancy part-time from September. Level 3, again, same things covered as with the full-time course: advanced bookkeeping, management accounts, tax, ethics, and spreadsheets. Right, let's move on. Okay, so that's accountancy. Hopefully you got a fair grip of that. The best thing to do is to go onto the college website and have a look at what the college details say. From there, you can then apply online, and you'll get an interview with our accountancy team, some of our accountancy lecturers. So business level 2, we don't do at Chippenham. So let's go on to business level 3. So business level 3, up here is the, again, the course information sheet. This is a full-time course. And again, like with accountancy, when we talk about full-time, it tends to be 3 full days a week. As with accountancy, if you don't get your maths and English at school, you might end up doing a bit more than 3 days. You might have to come in another day to retake your maths and English and to have maths and English lessons. Okay. Business level 3 is a 2-year, well, it's a 1-year program, so it's the equivalent to A levels, think. So it's a 1-year program. You would do, you'd get the equivalent of 1 A level. But most people tend to do the 2 years when they get the equivalent of 3 A levels. And what's good about business is, just like the AAT, is that you're taught by people who've actually worked in business or are still working in business or who've had their own businesses. So they really know and understand what it's like to work in business, and they can recommend you places to work. They've got a lot of contacts, so quite often we find people, good students, jobs at the end of it. But some students want to go on to university, and with a level 3, because it's equivalent to 3 A levels, if you do the 2 years, you get UCAS points, so you can move on to university if that's something you want to do. Now, the difference between college and school is at A-level stage, at college, you're just doing one subject. So at school, you've got to choose potentially 4 A-level subjects to do. And quite often there might be 1 or 2 that you're interested in, but you can't really think of 2 others. And they tend to be 2 that you don't really want to do and you're not really interested in, but you just have to do it because you have to do it to get your UCAS grades or because the school tells you. Whereas at college, you just do one subject. So it might be AAT, business, it might be plumbing or carpentry or whatever. And the good thing about this is you can really specialise, but with business, you're not specialising too much. We're looking at business, but like I said earlier, you look at all the different elements of business. So it's a really good course to keep your options open if you're not 100% sure what you might want to do in the future. Okay. For some reason, bear with me a sec. Yeah, okay. So in case you're not sure what you want to do in the future. So what we're looking at in the businesses we do, we look at marketing, we look at human resources, we look at recruitment in case you want to work in recruitment, we look at finance in case you want to do accountancy, we look at law. So there are different units on all different areas that you can have a look at. And all of them will help you to consider. We also do an event management unit and will help you consider what area of business you might want to work in or whether or not you want to set up your own business. So, as I said, in the first year, you will look at exploring business, which is just general business studies. Looking at marketing, how do companies market? Do they, you have to think of a marketing campaign that companies do. Look at personal business and finance, so that'll help you with accountancy, whether whatever you do, whether you work in marketing or whether you work in human resources, you'll need to think about budgeting. It's a really important unit. Managing an event, English legal system, and recruitment and selection is what you do in the first year. And most students, as I said, tend to go straight onto the second year. In the second year, you do international business, you're looking at management, because we hope that you'll become a manager, and so you'll look at how how you ought to manage your staff. You're looking at things like business decision making. So again, this is at management level. How do you make decisions? Team building, customer service, visual merchandising. So if you're setting up a shop or a website, how you set it up to the best advantageous way so people will buy your stuff. And pitching for a new business. So this is a bit like the Dragon's Den. So you set up you think of a business idea and you try and pitch for business. So it's a really good, important one to if you're thinking about setting up your own business. Okie dokie. We're not doing level 1, so we don't need to worry about that. These are the ICT courses, so we didn't need to worry too much about those. Timetables and study programs. So as I said, with AAT, these part-time ones, you'll just be in 1 day a week. Okay, so it'll either be the Monday or it'll be this one is Monday. Sorry, that's Trowbridge. So it's either a Tuesday all day or a Friday morning. An example of a business, although it's business or IT timetable, will be 3 days a week. You also have a tutorial session. So just like school, you have an hour a week tutorial where your tutor checks you're all right, checks you're on target to achieve, talks about other important things happening in the world. And also you have 1 or 2 days a week on this one. It's IT, but business is the same. You have Thursday and Friday in which to do work experience. It's really important that you get some type of work experience, because when you do eventually apply for a job in a couple of years' time, they're going to look at A, your qualifications, and B, whether you've got any good experience, because there's going to be a lot of people applying for good jobs and you want to be the best. So you want to have some good qualifications and some good experience. And whether or not with business, whether or not you, if it's just a part-time job, you might work in a supermarket or a pub or when they're open, that's all going to give you work experience. It's going to give you experience of turning up on time, being reliable, dealing with conflicts, dealing with customers, all those sort of things. And very often our students get asked if they're working in a big organisation, whether they'd like to go on a management training scheme once they've finished the course, because the course is a very well recognised course. So if you can get your work experience, it's going to make you stand out as a potential employee, backed up with the qualifications that you're doing at the college and the CV writing skills that you'll get. You're on a way to a good career. Okay, so when you're at the college, yes, you do your main programme, which it says at the top, so that's going to be AAT or your BTEC. You'll potentially do English and maths, retakes if you need to. You won't do functional skills because these are higher courses that I'm talking about today. So you might have to retake either your maths or your English. If you don't get maths or English, it's unlikely that you'll be able to get on level 3, but you could do a year of level 2 at the college, maybe doing IT or digital media or something like that, and then come on to the level 3 the following year. So don't give up hope if your results aren't very good. Still apply, and if you don't get the results you want, then we'll have still, come in and we'll have a chat with you. Like I said, you'll get a tutorial once a week, and they're looking at things like employability skills, university applications, all those sort of things. You'll get 2 hours a week on your timetable, which is directed study, which is like a workshop that you come in and you get on with assignment writing or revision or anything like that. And there are people, not this year because of COVID, but normally there's a lot going on, like sports teams that you can be in. There's trips we do to with student unions, so trips to Thorpe Park, the gadget show, the clothes show, all those sort of things go on too. So it's a bit less like school and more like a university. You're more independent than you are at school, and you have to be more responsible because you've got to turn up, you've got to do the work. Okay, and I've talked about work experience already, so I won't go on about that. Safeguarding and tutorial team. Right, at college we do have, you will have your personal tutor, whose aim it is to make sure that they support you in your pastoral care, etc., like I've already said. They also are there for safeguarding issues, so, or anything, if you're going to be late or if you have to miss college, they're the person you'd go to first and tell them. But they're also looking out for your welfare. So if there's any issues, personal issues or anything at home, there's a team there to support and look after you. Right, unfortunately you can't come to Chippenham College at the moment, but hopefully after Christmas, if we're able to open, you'll be able to come in and see the college. It's lovely, it's new, it's got a Starbucks, it's got a gym that's not open at the moment, but it should be normally. It's just got a really nice feel for it. And it's got, yeah, the canteen, nice big field out the back for when it's sunny. You can sit out and have your food out there. It's just a nice feel to it. You can walk into town easily. You can get buses and trains out easily or in easily. So there's a lot of benefits about the Chippenham campus. Lecturers. Our units, I've talked a little bit about your lecturers. Our units are delivered by knowledgeable lecturers. We've all got a lot of experience, like I said, in business and in teaching. So, as I said earlier, most of your school teachers will have done their degree in English or maths or whatever it is, biology, and then they do their teaching qualifications and start teaching, whereas most of us, or all of us, have been in industry. So the reason the plumbing teacher can teach plumbing is because he or she's been a plumber. Same with the hairdressers, same with the business teachers, the same with the accountancy teachers. Okay. So we know what the employers and the industry are looking for. We know we've got links with industry, so we can help to get you jobs at the end of it. When you're at college, as a student, you do get lots of benefits. So you get access to Microsoft Office on your own machine, so you can do any of the work you need to. For IT, there are other. You can also get access to Sage for AAT, and there are other software packages that IT students might want, or you can use if you need to. We've also got a learning resource centre, which is like a library, but it's a huge, big area, so you can just go and work down there in your spare time or in your director's study. There's a lot of information in there. There's a lot on your e-study, which is your VLE area, with books, teaching resources and everything that you can access after your lessons or for revision sessions. For AAT, sorry, it wasn't £80, it's £135. So when you do AAT, you join, you get an AAT membership and it's £135. You need to join AAT as part of the course. Okay, they then give you some books to help you. But it's in order to do any of the exams, you need to be a member. And the reason for this is because they then assess you to see whether you're at the level that they require for an AAT student, and then they will help you to progress. And when you put this on your CV, most companies will be impressed. Accountancy firms can then see what level you're at and they'll understand it. Okay. Yeah, we have this system called Pro Portal where all your marks are put as you go through. So with both course, or with AAT and business, you will have different units taught by different teachers. So at school, if you're in business, you have one business studies teacher. Here at the college, you'll have 4 different business studies teachers and you'll have 2 different accountancy teachers, each doing different units, and they will assess you in different ways and put your grades up on a system called Pro Portal as we go along. Okay, so the year ones, sorry, my clock's going and it's at the wrong time. The year ones, for example, will be have just done their first assignment for me, so I'll be marking that and then putting the grades up this weekend, and they can check on their grades and then see what they need to do to improve them. Let me just see where we've got to. Sorry, guys. Okay. a progression. So once you finish the course, you can progress on to either university. So a lot of students go to university, and normally we take them to university open days. So we normally go to Bournemouth, Cardiff, Bristol for open days. Some students go on to apprenticeships, so we've got connections with the MOD in Corsham and Bristol, and some students have got really good apprenticeships there. Also with Manda Duffield, the accountancy firm, they take on people once they finish the AAT course, or business even, to go on to apprenticeships with them. So you get a lot of support with careers, mock interviews, etc. You can see here that if you do, I've realised that I've overrun on times. So if you can see here, sorry, you can see here that what the grades UCAS points are. So we'll talk about that in more detail when you join the course. I'm just going to whiz through the last bit. Talked about work experience. And then just beware about COVID. We've obviously got safe working practices. So at the moment, everybody's in, but they're in zones. So we have a blue zone that all the business, accounting and IAT students are allowed into. I think somebody's trying to tell me to hurry up. So the next steps are to apply online at Wiltshire College. You'll be invited to an online interview, where you'll be offered either a conditional or an unconditional place, depending on where you are, what your grades are. Thank you for listening, and let me know of any of your questions, if you've got any questions.